During peak admission season in India, there's always a discussion on university rankings, especially NIRF rankings. In 2019, there were more than 3.8 crore students enrolled in institutes of higher education in India. And for rankings, NIRF is often their first stop. So, how does NIRF work and how do you make use of it? Any ranking system judges a university on certain aspects. It could be infrastructure, salary after graduation, research, or anything which you find important. After collecting the data for these metrics, a score is generated using which ranks are created. For a long time now, the QS World Rankings have been the most popular rank list. In 2014, someone from the Indian Ministry of Education saw that the QS World Rankings had very few Indian universities in the top 1000. This was because 50% of a university's score comes from surveys about what people thought about the university. It also didn't help that very few Indian universities were a part of the QS World Rankings in the first place. Another reason is, before NRF was made, private institutions were ranking universities and there was no way to verify bias and accountability of these rankings. Because of this, just like how China made the Shanghai rankings, the Indian Ministry of Education decided to make NIRF. But why can't everyone be happy with a single ranking system? Because everyone who create these rankings have different goals. The QS believes that the best university is the one which everyone thinks is the best. So that's why academic and employer surveys make 50% of the weightage. The Shanghai rankings believe that you measure the merit of a university by the number of Nobel Prizes or Fields Medals awarded to students or alumni. With NIRF, the Ministry of Education gives a lot of importance to infrastructure like labs, libraries, sports facilities, and teaching, and research work among students and faculty to increase the quality of education. Just infrastructure and research quality contribute to 60% of the total score in NIRF. So, where do you fall in the midst of the agenda of these institutes? The people who created these rankings did it with their goals in mind. So you should view rankings with your agenda in mind instead. So you need to find what matters to you: placements, research, campus, infrastructure, reputation, and so on. For example, if you want a good salary after graduation, in the NIRF rankings, you would be interested in the median salary metric. Even though IIT Gandhinagar is ranked above BITS Pilani, the median salary metric in IIT Gandhinagar is 16, while in BITS Pilani it's 20. But keep this in mind. Ultimately, any ranking system would be flawed purely because people go to universities for different reasons, and what matters to one might not matter to another. Secondly, criteria are hard to quantify. As an example, you might measure quality of teaching by student-teacher ratio or the educational qualification of the teacher. It might be a fair metric, but more number of teachers or highly qualified teachers doesn't guarantee that they actually teach better. Thirdly, several other things like campus, sports teams, quality of life, food, clubs, college fests aren't even considered in NIRF. For example, if you want to know if you have enough free time to run a YouTube channel in college, the only way to find out is by talking to a senior. In spite of all these flaws, these rankings are created with good intention and serve as a good starting point for students to make an informed choice. And with people consulting these rankings, colleges are also incentivized to up their game as well. So that's it for this video. I hope to see you guys in my next video.